All right, so welcome to the post show, guys. Hello out there in internet land. And guys, first of all, congratulations. That was really fantastic. I know I enjoyed it. I hope that you guys are feeling good about it. And we're just going to get into some questions right away. Let's start with Far Cry.
Okay.
All right, so Dan, can you tell us a little bit more about Pagan Min?
Yeah, I think we started to build Pagan Min. We wanted to make sure that we built somebody that was a little bit different. So we started to talk about Voss from Far Cry 3. He was the type of guy who would show up, like when you were a kid, he'd be the bully on the playground. But Pagan Min is different. Pagan Min is sort of like that. We all have that friend. We all have that friend that we know that if we stay friends with this guy, he's probably going to get us in trouble. We're probably going to end up in jail.
Right.
So Pagan Min, well, I might be that guy. Pagan Min is that guy. He's basically the guy who comes up and rather than being the bully, he says, "Hey, let's go steal a car."
Yeah.
And then he kind of winks at your mom.
Oh,
That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, that is a terrible friend. No winking at mom. Is Voss going to be back?
Well, I can't tell you that, but I'll tell you this. If he does come back, he's got a hell of a lot of competition with Pagan Min.
Well, that would be awesome. That would be like a super double extra boss fight sandwich. Okay, let's talk about Just Dance. So let's see. Tell us a little bit about how Just Dance now works. I mean, I think it's pretty simple, but it's pretty cool that you don't have to be in front of your. Do you have to be in front of your console to do it? Or you can play anywhere.
No, in fact, it's that's the whole thing. All you need is a smartphone. You just download the free app, and any internet-connected screen. It could be your PC, tablet, any browser, smart TV, whatever you got.
Killer.
It's really easy to use, but the technology behind is what enables this, latency-free experience. It's,
right.
It's built on a technology that was developed out of Ubisoft Massive. It's called UB Blue Star, and enables this really seamless, really easy to play. The technology is a bit complex, but the experience is just magic. It's
super
seamless.
Simple.
It's really easy to play, which is why we were, really happy to bring it out.
We get a flash mob thing going pretty easily.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It looked rad. It looked super fun. Have you seen a lot of Just Dance fans uploading crazy videos online?
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, that's this huge community of people.
Is there one that you've seen that was particularly memorable? And I really hope there's nudity involved. Naked dancing people, right?
But the one that actually my favorite ones are the where some of the different fans collaborate. Like, so they'll dance. There's a guy, Tulu Akar96 on YouTube. He posts videos of himself dancing, and he invited some other friends, Carl and Natasha. And they're in the US, and they post videos of themselves dancing together to songs, which is kind of cool. It's just the people around the world like dancing to the same song. We think that's really great.
Yeah, I mean, what's nice about that is we talked about there being a Just Dance community. That's obviously a global community,
and,
which is cool.
The other ones that are fun are when people actually take songs that aren't in the game yet, but they just make their own maps, make their own Just Dance choreography, and it's really, really cool.
People with a long weekend. Okay, the division. All right, so let's see. I want to ask you a question that's going to challenge you. Tell us a little bit more about the guys with the flamethrowers. Tell us about the dynamic in the game. I want to understand more about who the good guys and the bad guys are.
So for the guys with the flamethrowers, you will find them in parts of the city with a high level of contamination, like a high level of virus. And so they're drawn to that part of the city. And you can actually see them at the convention center backstage in the booth demo.
And I mean, it's the idea that these guys are trying to clear contagion out of the city, and they kind of don't care who gets caught in their net.
Yeah, basically, but it's not really a good thing to do, because by burning corpses, contagious corpses, you actually spread the virus, and
someone needs to write a letter.
They need to be stopped.
Was there a specific reason that you chose Manhattan as the setting for the game?
You mean New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. So New York is sort of like a symbol, and it mirrors the complexity of our society, and I think everyone has a relationship with New York. Have you guys been in New York?
Yeah.
So if you haven't been there, you have probably seen it in TV shows or movies, so you sort of know what it actually looks like when it works as it's intended to work. But in the Division, it's turned upside down because of the virus, so it's about the contrast.
I mean, also that's probably one of the most densely populated places in the world, so a disease would spread pretty quickly there. It looks. Last year that was my Sorry, guys. Last year that was my
Not this year.
I like everyone. You're all my babies this year. This year, you're all my babies. But I'm really excited to play this game. Okay, the crew. So, Julian, two things I want to ask you. How many people can play online with this game at the same time? I mean, you could have a pretty massive race going.
Yeah, because we've basically got one server for everybody on each platform, which means that you'll always be meeting different people. we're not crowding the roads up, so you're never going to have some traffic jams, but
Right.
it means that you're meeting different people all the time. So as many people as buy the game on that platform, basically.
Oh, that's killer. That's killer. And how, we know this is obviously a time-lapse piece we saw. It was incredibly beautiful, and I was sitting backstage and everybody was oohing and ahhing about how gorgeous it was. How long would it take you inside the game to drive coast to coast? In that crazy Florida, New York
Yeah,
to LA?
that trip's over 2 hours long, but if you're going direct New York, Los Angeles, in the fastest vehicle in the game, it's about 45 minutes, 1 hour. But if you're going off-road, way longer.
Right.
So it depends on the vehicle.
Now, when you say fastest vehicle, you mean like the fastest standard vehicle or like the fastest outfitted vehicle? Can you...
Outfit it.
Okay.
So you have different classes for the
Right.
vehicles. So
Do mods.
the highest class, circuit vehicles, race cars.
Yeah.
And that's the type of vehicle that you'll need to do a 45-minute run.
Sweet. Sweet. Okay. AC. Alex. First of all, the trailer was just, I was talking to myself, and obviously everybody went crazy. It's beautiful. The trailer was beautiful, the gameplay was beautiful. It looks a lot like Paris. It looks like a really immense map. So tell me about it. Is it to scale?
It's actually to scale. It is to scale relative to what Paris, how big Paris was back then, which is actually novel for the brand because typically AC is a third scale. We don't know this because everything is scaled a third.
Right.
But because we have seamless interiors, we actually had to make it real size. And this
Right.
is why it looks so monumental when you look at it.
Right. No, there's no loading. I mean, you're inside,
No.
outside,
Fluid,
continually.
seamless.
Yeah. Really, really beautiful. Well, tell us a little bit about the free running component of the game
Yep.
because Arnaud essentially took a nosedive off of Notre Dame, so didn't have to land in a haystack or on a pile of humans. Tell us a little bit about how the controls are new this time.
Well, we for Unity, we completely revised the core pillars. Navigation is one of them. So what we did is we wanted to add more control, more freedom. We added something called control defense. It's actually input controlled. You can free run up or down, which essentially lets you do that stuff, and you don't need to look for a haystack anymore to get down from tall buildings.
Right. I mean, that's like kind of true free running or parkour principles, right? He was running up walls and just kind of
Exactly.
using like speed and tension to get up. I mean, he obviously couldn't run sideways all the way up
Yeah,
like a full building.
another thing
but-
that you might have noticed is you can actually run diagonally along walls, something
Yeah.
that you couldn't do before also.
Yeah, it's rad.
Yep.
If he ever stops being an assassin, he could definitely be like in Cirque du Soleil. Just like tight roping. It was awesome. Charles, can you now? You look like you're working really hard, actually. So how possible is it to get like truly fit playing this game?
Basically, we built the game on a full body workout. So in the game, you have full 4 weeks programs,
Cool.
coach to guide you. So it's a real training method. The only difference is that now it's gamified, and each exercise is a real game. So we made sure to took a real moves for each game. You saw today the steps and the push-ups, but we have also the squats, the crunches, dodge exercises. So it's real fitness shit, but transform into games. So
And is there an online component? Obviously, you can compare your high score with your friends. Can you
Clearly.
do multiplayer? Can you go online and play?
you
with
can
friends?
play at 2 locally, and after that, with the replay feature that I demoed today, you can record every performance and send it to your friends.
And then have them try to beat
yeah,
you. Oh,
exactly.
that's rad. Tell me about how did you come up with the exercises for this? Because I mean, the great thing about it is with something like Kinect, almost anything is possible, but you still are working within certain constraints because you're just on the floor. So, like, how did you guys create the program?
First, we choose the most efficient movements that we could. After that, we tested, of course, the relation with the Kinect.
Right.
But with the new Kinect HD on Xbox One, it's really great. The improvement is allowed us really to welcome all sorts of moves, including floor moves. So basically, we did the A list of the movements that we needed to build the programs after. So it was
Killer. It's super fun to watch. I mean, I think
Thank you.
anybody who's skeptical about the idea of an exercise game being
Of
fun,
course,
it
it
was like fun to. I'm sure it was fun to play. It was hilarious to watch. I loved it. It was like
Cool.
elephants and tanks. All right, R6. We're gonna talk about R6. That was, first of all, let's just talk about the multiplayer demo. Tell me about that map, tell me about the game. I mean, it was great that we were actually watching real multiplayer footage, and
Yeah.
So tell us a little about it.
Well, the video we saw is recorded in-game, so it's a full-on demo of the game. What we're presenting on Rainbow Six Siege this time is a full reboot of the game. It's a completely new game, and it's essentially, it revolves around attackers and defenders trying to combat around. So there's basically two opposing forces. There's destruction and fortification. And so basically the whole game revolves around destroying the defenses that the defenders have created to protect themselves.
Right, so like a penetration game, or a nice, much more sophisticated name, a game of like a capture the flag, but only the flag is a person that
exactly.
really doesn't want to be there. Can I? Okay, so let's talk a little bit. What's up with the hostage? Do we know who this hostage is? I mean, is this like a component that's going to come out of campaign, or this is its own? Like, who's that lady?
It's a lady. It doesn't have any persona per se. We call her Olivia. It's actually to show the game mode. One of the game modes we're going to ship with the game. That game mode is Rescue Hostage. Of course, Rainbow Six is a game that explores the fantasy of counter-terrorist units.
Right.
And obviously, there's hostages in that situation. So you gotta create a good simulation of that situation. And what we had there, yeah?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I loved R6 Vegas. It was one of my favorite games, and I feel like that combination of combat and infiltration is what's so fun about R6, that you can essentially be stealthy, that you can plan an attack rather than just going in balls out, which is how, and pushing all the buttons.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see those two components in play.
Exactly.
That wasn't a question, I just was so stoked to see it.
I agree. You're totally right.
Yes. So, I don't even, is this the same game as Patriots? That's one of the questions from the internet.
No,
as
I mentioned, it's a complete reboot. A year and a half ago, we decided to completely reboot the game, change the focus, concentrate on fully next gen, and we embraced the next gen full on with the destruction engine we have. So it's a fully procedural destruction engine. Wherever you decide to shoot is going to create a realist hole in there. So if you take a shotgun, shoot through a wall, you can use that position as a camping spot to attack somebody through a wall when he goes through. It's very, very realistic. Wood is going to splinter like wood and create dust like wood.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And if you have a cement wall, well, tough luck. I mean, you can breach it and it's just going to be cement in the back, so you can't go in. So there's a lot of realism in there. It's completely procedural, and it's really at the center of the game. It's really interesting.
I love the drones. I mean, that was really cool.
Drone is
and it looks like the
useful as
weapons array is obviously like much more robust and muscular and lots of cool things. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. What's campaign going to be like?
That's a whole secret for now. There's obviously going to be campaign. Campaign or not, there's obviously going to be a single player aspect to it. There's going to be co-op play. All the Rainbow Six players have played this for years, and it's obviously a super fun aspect of the game. We're definitely not going to be letting them down. As a team lead of AI, I'm guessing it kind of implies that there's going to be some AI in the game. We're just not selling anymore for now. It's just going to be awesome, though.
Cool.
I can say that.
Well, I will tell you, this was my favorite presser so far. It was super fun. The games all look amazing, really ballsy and fun and cool. And thanks you guys for hanging out with me and talking a little bit more about it. Congratulations. I'm sure you're stoked this is over. Now you just hang out on the floor and talk about your game and not sweat it out in front of a bunch of dusty, angry gamers. And thanks everybody on the internet for watching. This was super fun. And that's it for the 2014 Ubisoft E3 media briefing. If you want to yell about stuff on the internet, the hashtag is UBE3. Feel free to compliment us all copiously and send pictures and also money. And here's a quick video tease of the awesome Ubisoft booth we've been talking about all afternoon, so check that out. Get amped. Go play. If you're here, come see us on the floor. My name is Aisha Tyler. Thanks for watching.